This video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. More about them at the end of the video. A married Hollywood agent receives a mysterious letter for an anonymous sexual encounter and becomes ensnared in a sinister world of lying, infidelity, and digital data. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Burns Reviews. My name is John, and today we are talking about the new film by Jim Cummings called The Beta Test. If you're new to the channel, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, ring that bell, you know the deal, we really appreciate it. Without any further ado, let's go straight into the positives. So The Beta Test, first and foremost, it's hard not to talk about Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings, much like the Wolf of Snow Hollow, is the heart of this movie. Writer, director, star, producer. He is this movie. And much like Edgar Wright, Quentin Tarantino, I think he's about to blow up in a big way. I think he's going to be recognized very soon by Hollywood. He was just on Halloween Kills. I thought he had a great cameo in that. I mean, he's kind of like a copy-paste character that he was in Snow Hollow, but he plays it so damn well that it was a very welcome addition. In fact, the flashbacks on Halloween Kills were my favorite scenes, and he just made it all the better. So he's great, and I think he's a director you need to keep your eye on because he's going to be doing great things because he hasn't struck out yet. But as far as this character, not my favorite character of the characters that he has created. The Wolf of Snow Hollow was more of a relatable character in my opinion. I understood his motivations. I understood how he felt between the characters that were in his life and how he was stuck in doing what he was doing. Thunder Road also was a character you can relate to. This character isn't very relatable. In fact, I guess I would equate him to Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. And by that I mean he's kind of the worst. You know, much like Uncut Gems or even Walter White in Breaking Bad, there's a lot of goodwill that we have for this actor because we've seen this actor in other things that were very endearing. So when you get to something like Uncut Gems or Breaking Bad or The Beta Test, you're willing to give the character a long leash because you already have an idea of who you think he should be in your head. But this movie, the whole time he just keeps doing things and you're like, it's hard not to yell at the screen and be like, why are you doing this? And look, I get it. It's a commentary on the type of characters in this world, on Hollywood, on social media, how we project ourselves to the public through Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. There's even a great line in the movie that he delivers where he says, I miss the old days of the internet. I want to go back to like the early 2000s. And it's really funny. As always, Jim Cummings has a great way of delivering really witty and cynical, like black humor, which is just chef's kiss. It's great. It's so engaging. And I wonder how many times he has to do it. I mean, he writes it, but he just nails it. And the whole time, I can't say I was not engaged. Even though I thought, like, this guy's an asshole, I'm like, it's hard to take your eyes off the screen when Jim Cummings is just laying down a great monologue. And there's a lot of monologues, which reminded me of, like, Reservoir Dogs and Tarantino and stuff like that, and that's what I really loved about it. Now, going into the story, it is a mystery. It's not a horror movie. It's not a whodunit movie. It is a mystery of trying to figure out who sent this man this invitation. Why did they do it? If you've seen the trailer, you know what's up. He's trying to get to the bottom of it. Not in the most healthy kind of way, but that's kind of the movie's fun. But that's pretty much the mystery of it, and I think it is a solid mystery. I was engaged the entire time. The payoff is pretty solid. It did raise some questions. They sent me a screening link, and I did go back and watch it again, because in the last 10 minutes, I'm like, I got it, but I have questions. Hold on, let's go back a minute. So I rewound it and watched the last third act again, and I paused it a few spots here and there, and I'm like, okay, now I get it. Got it. So it does throw a lot of exposition at you at the very, very end. Some of it is kind of laid down in the beginning. There are a couple hints along the way, but I don't think you could really guess the end of the movie simply by knowing what you know in the first 2/3 of it, which is fine. I kind of like the ending. It definitely throws a couple curveballs at you, and you're like, whoa, all right, so we're going to Crazy Town, and you know what? I'm down for it. Let's do this. This is pretty cool. And then, of course, As always, well, not as always, but as expected, in the third act, Jim Cummings does a fantastic monologue, just like he kind of does in Thunder Road, just like he kind of does in Wolf of Snow Hollow. And to me, I watch this and go, like, why isn't Jim Cummings on Broadway? Because it feels like theater, like really good theater, not like crappy high school theater, but like a really good set piece. And it reminds me of Tarantino or Kevin Smith, where you have a lot of dialogue and all squished down and you're really pulled into it. And to me, every time I watch one of these movies, I'm like, I can't wait to get to that big monologue set, because that's a part of the movie that I really love. Going into negatives, like I said, he's not the most likable character, but that's with the intention of doing so, because they're conveying how awful Hollywood people can be sometimes. And I just wish they could have maybe included a couple of more characters that were a bit more likable as side characters to kind of round out the tone of the film, I guess, because when you have a character who is so awful and does these crazy things, you're like, why? Like, I need something to kind of cling on to a little bit more. For example, in The Wolf of Snow Hollow, you have Robert Forster's character, you have Ricky Lynn Horn, she's great, and they both ground the movie so that, and they work as a contrast in comparison to the character that Jim Cummings is playing. In this movie, I feel like we're with Jim Cummings kind of the entire time, and maybe a break from him to kind of balance it out with like some nicer people. And I know it's crappy Hollywood, that's kind of the tone of the movie, but I think it would have kind of helped the movie at the same time. Like, he does have a best friend and a fiance, and I don't want to go into it more than that. I'm just saying there are characters that are, morally conscious more than him as a counterweight, but at the same time, I think they could have been fleshed out a little bit more, given more to do, to really kind of contrast and also hold your audience a little bit tighter. But with that said, guys, I'm just nitpicking. I really love the beta test. I'm going to give it an 8.2 out of 10. It is a psychological roller coaster. I really loved it. I enjoy, if nothing else, a great mystery. And if you can pile on great acting with good monologues and solid direction like Jim Cummings does, it's a slam dunk. So be sure to go check out the beta test. It comes out on VOD and in theaters this Friday, tomorrow. Also, before I go, this video is sponsored by ExpressVPN, who are allowing me to give away 3 months absolutely free when you sign up for a 1-year pack. You can travel to any location you want, allowing you to watch any of the TV shows and movies that are not available in the country that you're in. Want to watch one of the Batman movies and catch up before the new one comes out? Bam! ExpressVPN has you covered. It's also the best way to protect your personal information and data from sites that may try to obtain it. I'm looking at you, Mark Zuckerberg. So go check out ExpressVPN by clicking the link in the description down below and protect your personal information today. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. I have been John here on Burns Reviews. You just got burned, and we will see you next time.